Hey guys, Dash here for Curse with an in-depth look at character creation in Fallout 4 because there's a whole plethora of options in this game. The first you're going to be confronted with is choosing between sexes. We're going to just go through the males customization first, then the females. It's in real time as well, so they'll make comments about how you change their appearance for better or worse. They're usually pretty positive, and their face around so that it's not such a static character creation we're used to. You've got your facial templates, which are incredibly handy to change between character faces. And what I mean is that when you want to change or make a character, if you've got a starting base that looks like something that you kind of project you want at the end, it's much easier than trying to change every little nuance, or you can just basically choose one off the cuff and then go with that if you like it. Just change one or two things. So there's 15 to choose from in total. And I think I'll go with number 5, Mr. Strong Jaw, because I'm going to try and change him up a fair bit. Then we've got the face type, which we're going to go through. There are so many options of this with extras and then body. So face type, the first thing that you can notice is that there's going to be green highlights over things, from the neck to the chin, the lips, the nose, the eyes, the cheeks. Everything you can change and you can sculpt out. So we're going to start at the top with something that's incredibly important for how our face looks, and that's the hair. And we'll change the hairstyle. Now, Fallout is known for its humor and also the fact that it crosses over so seamlessly the 1950s hair or 40s, the style that happened pre-war, also the post-apocalyptic looks that happened post-war, and a little bit of humor thrown in. So boot camp, balding, midlifer, again the humor's already there, hombre, tough enough, comb over, can change his head to the right to see the back. I mean, looking at Creeper or Trailer Smash, that reminds me of Trevor of Grand Theft Auto, or Slick and Sleazy. You want to be able to see what's happening at the back as well. The math teacher, dishonorable discharge, heavyweight, short crop, stunning intellect, firebrand, got a nice afro, trailblazer, all the way to urban rager. Now this is post-apocalyptic meets new age. You're gonna notice this, that it's more defined, the haircuts look better, but also you get the hard part shaved in, the quote-unquote, people call it hipster haircuts, whatever you wanna say. It's just good that they've thrown in some more modern haircuts with that post-apocalyptic twist. 9 to 5, or Professor Dapper 9 to 5. These are all the old school standard ones that would fit in the pre-war era. Rebel, shaggy suave, again, bedraggled. We've seen these before in previous iterations, but they're looking a lot better. Casual kempt, the pompadour. It's a tunnel snake mix Walker out of Final Fantasy X. It's a new take on the pompadour. I think it gets higher every game. The alpha male, again, new age haircut. Colonial, doesn't look like much at the front. Again, look at the back. We're going to the ponytail town. Top knot, new age haircut. Ronin, garage band, and beatnik. So if we went for something like the pompadour, which is absolutely a shout out to the previous titles, and then the color. We've got things from platinum blonde all the way down to darker to bleach. So, I mean, it's got every kind of little subtle variation that you want. There's no streaks or anything like that. It hasn't gone too far, but it's still got the standard options. They probably could have gone one step further, to be honest. So let's go with something like, I don't know, jet black looks a little bit weird. Steel gray, how about that?
Nice haircut.
So we've got a little bit of steel happening. Now, what you'll notice as soon as you move down is that you've got options for the forehead. You can sculpt it or change the type. So let's change the type, and what you'll notice is the type actually changes the texture. Whether smooth, textured, serious, lined, or wrinkled, you can change how you look in your aging. Now, there's a handy little tool down below, and I've changed it too early, where you see 100%, and this changes the opacity or the prominence of what you've selected. So if you go down, if you're watching the screen closely, you can see that basically the wrinkles have nearly fully disappeared. We're at 1%. So you cancel, you're gonna keep the wrinkles. If we go back to type, something like, let's go with lined. Well, wrinkles actually the best. The opacity going down really drags it out, but it also makes your character customization feel more personal. Now, this whole area is actually, there's a whole gamut of things to change. Like, there's a slew, it's insane. So with the eyebrows middle, if we change or we sculpt it, what you're gonna be able to do is use the mouse wheel up and down, and that's just changing where the cilium is up and down in the nose. I mean, this small part, again, you can push it out or pull it in, mouse wheeling. and we'll accept that. And again, you can do this for the forehead, everything I've mentioned. It's very subtle though, very, very subtle. You can't make your head like a blowout, like a basketball, or look like Shrek somehow and turn green. You know, that would be incredibly hard. So next out is the eyebrows. You know, if we sculpt that, they're gonna move out or in or up and down. It's basically the inner side of the eyebrow though, so you'll see that just there, the ridges as it goes out or in. Let's ridge that out. So now we've got the ridges of the eyebrows set up. And then we've got outer as well. Again, it's insane how much they've given you, and it's so minute. It feels like it could have been this whole thing, but they've gone, no, we're gonna give you options every side. So the ridges are also going out, or you can drag up and down to make him look more quizzical and alert, or more sullen and unhappy. So we'll just keep it in a standard place for now. Now, obviously eyebrows wouldn't be anything without changing the type of the eyebrow. From thin to arched, this really changes the face, shape and contours. Basically, everything about the face will be changed pretty easily by what eyebrows you choose, and I'd say it's a standard amount of eyebrows compared to other games. So let's change it to something, again, I'm making standard changes. He's not gonna look insanely different. So the eyebrows are changed, and you can actually change the the eyelids. Now, the eyelids, sculpting them, move them, well, actually I've grabbed the eyes here by accident. Let's not grab that. So this is how fine and minute it is. I can grab the eyes instead of the eyelids by accident very, very easily, and he's swaying around. So, I mean, just that. Making it open more, close more. That is literally what you can do with this, but again, it's a small feature that people appreciate. With the eyes,
one of my favorite things about it.
And she said that she loves the eyes. The eyes, you can change the type, and basically that would change them completely. This is like the set cast of the face. They can go from rested, and it will change the outside of, you see the wrinkles or the shading kind of change. This really changes the face to prominent, smaller eyes, narrow, angled, piercing eyes. I mean, it's all of the variations that you want, all the way to shrewd. I mean, and then the wide-eyed. I mean, that's insanely wide right there.
Your eyes.
He almost looks like an anime character.
Yes, when you ask me out.
So this guy, he looks shifty. He's untrustworthy, and I like him like that. We're gonna change them and sculpt them out, and you'll notice. Whoops. Grab the eyelids again. Sculpting them out, you can change how far out they are. Move them up or down, slant them. Let's move them up. Pull them back in. We'll make them a little closer. There we go. And then, of course, one of the most primary things about a face that you can have is the different eye colors. This is going to change him completely. So, if we go with steel, amber, blue hazy, this is insane. This is like a jet addict. Dark gray, green aqua, light gray, green, hazel blue, hazel green. They've really gone for the options, or blue, and brown, and light gray. But they haven't done anything that was too out of control, you know, something inhuman. So we'll go with brown for now. In fact, I'll change the color of their hair, because I feel like if we go with this, we can make Waka in the end from Final Fantasy X. Next down on the list is the nose. And obviously you can change the nose as a whole, and you can change the type by going through all of them. And this will change the face dramatically, from handsome, and his nose already has a bump, it's already out of line, we can change that later.
You think my nose is too
to
big?
Roman, chiseled, more of a narrow nose. I'm gonna have to jump out of this for one moment, and the reason being is I'm gonna have to fix the bridge. So let's not look at the full thing for a second. It's basically the bridge needs to be sculpted back, and what we'll do is we'll pull it back there, and this will give us a better idea of, and you can move it in and out, so it's like concave or convex. So we'll just move it more to a standard.
That's the face I fall in love with.
And let's see the tip. Somewhere here, I'm gonna have the option of moving this cillian here, because it's actually a little bit out.
What do you think, huh? Roguishly handsome?
Nose full sculpt. There we go. I think think that's as close as we're gonna get.
You have such strong cheekbones.
So the nose full type, again, if we go through the different types, we've got the chiseled, the narrow, the wide, and I apologize for how it is just a little off center, but you get the idea. I mean, the pug nose, we're gonna look at them from the side. I feel like I'm not doing them any justice.
So handsome.
These are all, I mean, these are very wildly different when you start looking at them from the side and think, do I want a pug nose? How is this gonna fit? Whatever you want from the character, but again, you can probably do this yourself, but the different options definitely help out. So we're gonna go for a standard wide nose. Now, this is gonna help with the nose tip. We can change the type, but it will just go back into nose, so you wanna ignore that. But basically you can sculpt it, and you can use A and D to move it up and down again, make it more prominent or less so. And you can use the mouse wheel to pull it out and down. So just how far it goes from the face. So that's pretty standard when it comes to noses.
What do you think, then?
And then you can even change the nostril type. So sculpting the nostrils, you can mouse wheel them out, or you can pull them in, or we can just move them around manually. So let's say move them in and down. And now I think I've ruined it. I really do. Let's just change the type quickly. There. That's good. And it's still, I mean, it's still a beat up look, but again, it depends what you want with your character. This is more Waka-like though. So for the mouth top, you can sculpt it again, and it's basically gonna pull the lips up, or you can change them by mouse wheeling out as well. And the same, I mean, the mouth bottom, same difference. You can just move up and down, and then plump out the lips a little bit. But really, what you want to do for this, if you just, want to move faster, is the type. And this is where it's all going to change, because it changes, again, the texture, the wrinkles, just basically everything about it. This is where you're going to get a more defined character. I mean, prominent here, much older. It doesn't match the rest of the face, but you kind of get a feel for how different you can make it look. And even the grin will help. So let's change it to from full pursed. Again, there's a whole gamut of options.
Hello, handsome.
Let's just go here. This looks like it's fairly standard, very Waka-esque. And you can do, I mean, this is insane, but you can sculpt the jowls. Talk about options. You can pull them in, you can move them out, or you can move them up and down. And again, this helps with aging, the aging process, so that you can have that with your character. So we'll just leave them about here.
You have such a strong.
And then you can change the cheeks as well. So you can pull them. This is where your character will blow right out. That can be your cheeks if you want it to be. Or you can left mouse wheel it up and down as well. So we'll just move them back in, or it can look very gaunt. I mean, it's still working against the bone, which is really good. So we just pull them out a little bit more. There we go. This is Waka-esque right here.
Hello, handsome.
So then we've got the cheeks, the jowls, the cheekbones. We can change that as well. And that moves them straight up and down. Again, you're gonna realize that these are actual bones you're kind of pulling out of the face. And so it affects everything else. So if we pull the bones in a little bit,
What's different about you?
she notices how different everything looks. We've got the jaw, we've got the jaw outer, middle, and inner. That's insane. So the jaw outer, if we sculpt that, whoops.
What do you think?
Jaw outer, let's sculpt this.
Roguishly handsome?
It's so easy to literally pull things out that you don't mean to. I mean, we've got someone who's very thin to much more masculine hard jaw here. And the jaw middle, you can pull down, up, and out as well. So again, it changes. You got a rounded chin versus more square jaw. The chin itself is, you can be rotated of all things, but that will rotate it up and down. Or in and out, pull it in and out for the bite, which absolutely makes sense. So we can change that, but also I should have done the up and down, just straight up and down. I mean, he can look like Roger Ramjet, or just pull it straight in. It depends what you want in the look, obviously. Now, for the face itself, we can change the tone and the color. Something pale, rosy, sun-kissed, tanned, and it gets darker as we go. Coffee, umber, deep brown. This is definitely going to change how your character looks. Obviously, the orange hair is definitely contrasting here, but let's go with something like chestnut. Waka's been out in the sun a fair bit. Now, with facial hair, and I think I might move away from Waka, with facial hair, let's get to that. Hit T, you can go through all the different types. One of the favorite things to do in a Fallout game, from none to lazy morning. Again, this scruff is actually a little bit harder to see because of the fact that his hair is orange. So let's change the color for a second. I'm going to change it all the way to bleached so that we can see what's happening with the color. Oops. So down the bottom, facial hair. These options are going to look a little crazy, but Lazy Morning still has got the normal stubble and it doesn't change to a grey. Daddy-O for the soul patch, Chin Dusting, Suave, these are again the classics, but more so they've got an update with a Fallout. Again, you're never going to see somebody unless they've dyed the whole face with this type of colour of hair, but you can definitely see more prominently so how the facial hair is going to work. And I mean, it's got so many types from chin strap to commonwealthy. I mean, Dead Man's Hand is great for a gunslinger. Prospector. This neon kind of white, out of control hair is pretty hilarious. And I've added some new things which are really good. And then we've got the Doomsday Prepped. So that's really good. I wanted to do that one, but to be honest, we won't see the neck, which is important. So if we just leave it at the Shenandoah, I believe it was called, and then we change the hair color. I mean, hey, that works. Now, we can change the neck and we can sculpt it out. I can't really see the difference. That's so crazy. But I'm sure that oh, it's mouse wheel. It moves it up and down so that you can, obviously, if you have that hard or soft jaw, beautiful. So we'll give him a little bit of a softer jaw.
You say so myself.
So that's the basics of the face, and you can do so much more with it if you just play around. Now, the cool thing about this though is the extras. You've got markings. Again, you can go from freckles to moles, a prominent mole, full face freckles. You can change the opacity of these as well. I mean, it's like, so they're just kind of, you can't see sun marks, but there we go, and then marks on the nose. So that's all of them, except. Now, blemishes can be something like shading of the eye socket. So let's remove that. Let's remove the different lip color. All right, add that back so it looks weird. Rough face. Oh, great. Now I'm gonna have to remove the mutton chops because these bad boys are in the way. So let's go back to the face. Get rid of the mutton chops. Facial hair. We're gonna take you back to just Lazy Morning. There you go. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow. So now we want to look back at the extras. Go black into blemishes. Things like, so the eyes are taken down. Forehead blemishes. You'll notice like these are almost zits. Again, you can pull them down to change out the blemishes or the markings so that they're barely visible from fully visible. It kind of gives this character more of a story. Cheek blemishes, mouth blemishes. Again, it's just crazy amount of blemishes, but then you can go to pocked face or cheek crease even. Eyes gaunt. So this will change things in a subtle way. Red nose is not so subtle. I said subtle as the red nose came out. Splotches, so you've got different facial markings on there as well. So let's just go back one and look at damage. Now, damage is going to be a lot of scars that you can go through. Whether it be one on the right cheek. And again, you can apply multiple scars if you want. You can, I mean, the center burn is going to be something that's really prominent. Some of these scars, again, you can just make them lighter so they fade over time, which is absolutely insane. Looks great for scars, nose arch, The forced smile, which is scary as all get out. That is crazy. I love it. The right brow. I mean, what you can do is pretty much endless. But then you get to the box of 12 rounds where you can have light bruising on the face. I don't know how you could play a game looking at someone who's been perpetually beat up, but again, it's funny, and I feel like that they took the time out to make something that was more enjoyable. So then we've got the body, and this is much more simple with more of a triangle, and you can go all the way from muscular, so he's very buff here, to large with heavy weight, to thin, or somewhere in the middle. You can say I want him thin and muscular with no weight in him, or I want him large and muscular, so he's heavy, but he's still, he's pretty buff. So you can get the best of all worlds, or, somewhere in the middle. He's thin, and he doesn't have much muscle, but, he's put weight on. So we'll just accept him there, a nice Malcolm in the middle, and we'll change sex to have a look at the female's attributes.
My turn, big guy.
Starting off with the female, again, the face type is very important. We want to go through all 15 of these. I mean, Cleopatra just hits you in the face, but again, the ethnicity and the face types help with variation. Now, they seem to be a lot more subtle than the male in a lot of aspects because of the softness of her face, but I'm pretty sure that there's something that we can work with to make a good face. So, I actually think that making Cleopatra would be the best one, so we'll go back to that just quickly. Now, looking at the face, we're going to change the hair to start with, all the way at the top, and the style. Going through the styles, because these are probably one of the most, if not the most important aspect of Fallout creation, is the sound and fury, enlisted, short crop, stunning intellect, natural beauty, public defender, no nonsense, frazzled, she's out of control, Wendy the welder. Again, you can see the back of these, so you want to make sure, if you've got a bun or you want to know if it's cropped. The sophisticate, so sultry. Parisian Bob, very nice. Summer come Lord, unscrupulous, rough night or crazy morning, rough night, night before, on the go. Femme fatale, again the old school. I love this femme fatale, that's crazy. Fairy tales, young at heart, standard ponytail, picket fences, which again is the 1950s throwback, no apologies, which is awesome, Agent X, Miss Noir, evening out, elegant, and so we've ended on elegant, and I think I liked femme fatale.
I have the best hairdresser. I swear.
You do, thank you so much. Again, you can change all of these options with the forehead. It doesn't change too much, comparatively between the two sexes, except obviously how it's going to affect the actual person themselves. So we'll go more into the things that you can manipulate as a whole, like the primaries, the nose, the chin, the mouth, etc. So if we want to change the eyes, we can change the color, obviously, and it's the same colors again. I do want to see the the hazy color, blue hazy, looks insane. That is scary. That's like a snake. Pale blue to amber. I mean, let's just go with standard
I
amber.
think Sean has my eyes.
And the eyebrow type obviously is incredibly important. I mean, that looks like I am not amused all the way through the different types. It's close to the male, but it's not so prominent, and I think that fits a lot more. So this is definitely the less amused of them. And we can change the eye type as well. These will change how the whole face looks. The rested is kind of more half-lidded. Tired is 100% tired, because these eyes already started out lower, so I assume the eye lids were smaller. Even the wide eyes don't look too wide. And it's just changing subtle things around the eyes. It's not making them as wrinkled or as, dark as the other eyes that we saw before.
You do know you have beautiful eyes.
Suspicious. She looks insanely suspicious. So let's make a low. There we go. Wide awake. Now the nose type itself, let's change the type, has the same differences
My eyes, right?
from the prominent noses to the Roman to the chiseled. So again, it goes basically through the textures and ages. It goes the standard type and then the aging as it actually hits it. Large nose, And it doesn't have something as crazy as the male, whereas, you know, the pug before, like, was very different. It's 100% different. It's more fine and, say, pretty petite. And obviously the mouth type is another one that we can change really quickly, and this will change the whole face shape too. So again, it's more about what you want and then versus the aging that we want to throw there. The downturn looks like a scowl. You know, like it does. One of these features can absolutely change the whole characteristics of the character from full pout to pursed. So let's go pursed. And one thing I forgot with the male is the ears. You can actually change the ear types as well. And basically change how they look. Mismatched is awesome because it changes from one normal ear to a mismatched ear on the right, which is really cool. And then the lobes as well, how wide they are. Small ears versus big ears, or malformed, so one of them was actually a lot smaller than the other. Let me just change the hair for one moment so that we can see that. That's malformed. So you wouldn't know with the longer hair. Maybe the longer hair is actually to cover it up. Maybe, you know, she's got a little bit of a hang up about it. Or maybe she wants to rock it and go bald. Either way, these are options that you can absolutely choose for both of the sexes. Now, that's pretty much it for the in-depth character creation. I feel like that you know how to change all of the different features and change the looks of the characters now. We've gone through some of the primaries, whether it's the hair or the eyes or even the nose types, because they're what really, or the mouths, because they define the character themselves. But if you've got any other handy tips to change your character drastically, let us know in the comments below. As always, this has been Dash for Curse saying thanks for watching and enjoy the game.